Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another sim racing video. This time around we are not in the Wilver Racing League, we are back here in the BMW M4 GT4, so the BMW M Power Tour, and this time around we're racing against the randoms too. We've got quite a stacked lobby up here as well, many drivers involved in this one. And well, in this full grid, let's see how we do then, shall we? So first of all, let me give you the statistics of what it's currently looking like. It's a 15-minute race. We're at 615 iRacing rating and a 2.75 safety rating in the D class as well. So we've got some very high ranked drivers ahead of us here. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to go. Now, Donington Park is one of my favorite tracks of all time, and that's mainly got to do with the fact that I've been here a couple times before. Actually, I've been here one time, but I'm planning to do a couple more here. So I know the track quite well. It's quite a difficult track. As the green flag is out, we are going to be driving all the way over towards the first red gate corner here, and it looks like we're bound to keep it clean with there being a massive distance behind us. And indeed, we do make it through nicely here. So that is a great way to get it going. And actually, I don't think there's been many incidents at all. Now downhill, get some of the most beautiful views from up there. And then it is his right-hander, which you've got to take well. Make sure you don't lock. And you can continue. One driver ahead of us has made a small mistake doing so in his Haribo car. And oh, there's a car, two wheels even in the foreground as well.
Keep to the right.
We stay side by side and we squeeze him out in the end. We're gaining position. So the M4 once again doing what it's supposed to do. And this pretty short track as well. We see this track features some of the main prime British series, right? And then I'm thinking of the British GT and the British Spa-Francorchamps mainly, and that's a big crash in the background as well. So many drivers involved in that one. But we are lucky to keep things clear. Coming into the S's for the first time. We make it through nicely. Now obviously this is the GP layout. On the national layout they actually take the S's the other way around and they go straight to what is turn 12 here. Just the layout that I have seen in action. It's a beautiful track coming out with a very cool elevation change. We've got lots of good views up here too. It really is one of my favorites, and it will always be one of my favorites as well. Yellow flag ahead of us here. Accident ahead, and there's one driver standing still that we were able to avoid. Some more drivers getting involved. I think they actually touched the driver that was standing still as well. That is not that great here, but well, that happens, you know. Small mistake can happen from time to time. Now downhill again, you can see that the gaps between the drivers have really started to get out there a little bit more. So obviously cars finding their place. We started in P8, we're currently up to P7 after overtaking one spot. So I think this is a pretty good position to be in. We utilize the maximum of the track as well. And make sure that we keep it between the lines. Now also, if you like the content so far, make sure you like and subscribe. Obviously we try and put out as many videos as we can at the same time. At least upload regularly, and that's what we're doing at the moment. So yeah, just got off the Wilver Racing recordings, then now we have these ones, so it's going to be some track-filled action with uploads coming in almost daily at this point on. So I'm glad you guys are here to follow in the journey as well. If we've got a video on 47k views already, that could even get up there with a little bit more. It's honestly incredible.
Incident ahead. You got a slow
car ahead now.
The car in front.
The driver's getting involved, but we're able to skip through it nicely. And that means that Matt Armstrong is unfortunately having to fall back here. So we need to continue our race though with 12 minutes left on the clock. We're into the first 3 minutes and it's been a relatively eventful one. I think that's fair to say. Although we have stayed mainly trouble-free for now. P6 it is, coming into the final corner. A trickier one, my opinion. Goddard's corner is quite a difficult one to get right. If you mess up the exit, you're going to be in trouble. And I've had that happen to myself plenty of times. Back when I actually did sim racing myself, so definitely know that feeling here. Slow car on the right, but that must be the driver that we're facing soon. That's Jo Bauger, was almost about to get lapped by us already, which is honestly incredible. I don't know how that's happened in the first place, but well, that's sometimes how life goes, you know. Now shifting back to fourth, and they need to push over. He's a little bit slower than we are. So eventually we're going to catch him too, but maybe that will allow us to get some slipstream in as well. In the most ideal position coming into McLean's corner here. We keep it clean. We do lose a little bit of time though. But luckily the back marker gets out of the way. So now it's up for us to chase Luca Marius again. And we'll see what can actually come of that. I'm curious to see how this one's going to go. And now coming on the straight here, Starkey Straight. Yeah, pretty long one for such a short circuit. It's only 4 kilometers long, and as you can see there, the national layout, you go to the right, we need to go to the left here. It's a fun layout, honestly, especially for the British Touring Car Championship. It really made for some exciting racing, and I definitely wish to be visiting it again. 10 minutes on the clock, so we are a third through the race already. It goes incredibly quick, of course, at a sprint race like this. It's nothing comparable to what we've seen happening before as well, right? So this time we go too wide and it's cost us time. We once again lose a position. Well, I'll say once again, it's the first time it's happened in this matchup, but shame really. Definitely was something that could have been avoidable. It's Sean Nelson coming through. And third we are right now. Shifting up all the way to the 5th gear. Then it's throttle up until the downhill side. This is all full throttle. As long as you make sure you get to the left side here, because the corner is a right-hander, can be pretty deceiving as well. It's a corner where a lot of drivers go off, especially in some of these support series that the British Touring Car Championship has. So that's what I've noticed in the past before. Drifting back. 9 minutes left to go. Once again coming onto the straight, we have a pretty clear target here. It's the second clear of us. Don't really need to be worried about the drivers behind us for now. There's still 2 back markers that would need to let the driver behind us by. It's Daniel Sanchez, but he's 5 seconds away for now, so not expecting many difficulties there, but obviously it could still change around. Back all the way to 2nd here. It's a slower part of the circuit. And pushing it all the way up again. As we've only progressed 1 lap now, we're almost halfway through the race already. We're going to be pretty soon. At the end of the next lap we will definitely be. As we enter lap 5 now, you see that the drivers ahead of us have really started to create a gap. Now their lap times are around 1:34s. Our fastest so far is a 1:38, but don't let you distract you, because in terms of track position we're actually doing quite okay. I think that's fair to say. We have done rather well here. Downhill we go, hit again. Back into 4th, a little bit too wide there. But we do manage to stay on the track, and I think it was within the track limits as well, so we're all good to go. Yeah, Ash Bill taking over the lead now over Rick Dorer. Pronouncing it right. But at least we have a new race leader. Well, the gap ahead of us is ever so slightly becoming bigger. It's up to 2.4 seconds now. And Daniel Sanchez still being in the rearview mirrors, but is still not by the drivers that is supposed to lap her. Now I think they're going to get out of the way eventually anyways, but still. They've also got a fight going on despite it being on a different lap, so I think they're going to try and challenge each other, and that could potentially benefit us as well. If that means they'll block the driver behind us, I think that is going to make a big difference overall. Now coming in here into the tight 2 turns again. Go for a rather uneventful race, at least for us here. The incidents that we have seen have been elsewhere.
He's up the front.
Here we come at it again. Obviously with such a short race and a fixed setup, means you don't have to worry about anything, not about the tires, not about the fuel. Just focusing up on your own thing. Now we go into the faster part of the track again. You can tell now that Sean Nelson is ever so slightly faster than us, and even though the gap has remained the same over the past few, well, half a lap, but yeah, I guess it's since more than one lap ago at this point on. Gap has kind of stayed similar, so looks like we're doing okay. Looking to hold on to the position here whenever we can. Into 5th, just to shift down again, of course. Now it's time to push in. Seeing if we can get any closer. The drivers behind us are finally getting by the slower lapped cars now. So it means that they now have time to play catch up here. With the current lap times that we're seeing, is going to get there in 2 laps roughly. That is actually Tor Elden now. He's gone by Daniel Sanchez, who was chasing us initially.
The leader is running 34.66.
Yeah, just once again, so many good lap times coming out from the drivers up in front. They are really unmatched here in terms of pace. It's incredible what we're seeing here. Once again, passing through Redgate corner. At the moment it looks like we're gaining on the driver ahead of us now, which is great news. Maybe we'll be able to challenge him as well. Trying to push the car to the absolute limit here. So obviously it's been a while since we've been in those cars, right? We were in the GT3s, we were in the TCRs for a while. This car definitely behaves differently. It's more close to the TCR than the GT3, I like to say, in terms of downforce and such, but obviously still a rear-wheel drive car instead of the front-wheel drive TCR full for racing. But I think it's still good that we're doing this race, and obviously the consistency has worked out for us before. We're actually quite high up in the standings with this one, which I can only appreciate. You know, it's good news really. Just over 4 minutes remaining now, crossing that 4-minute mark. The gap behind is now down to 1.5 seconds here, so as expected he's going to catch up with us the next lap most likely, and then we're going to have to try and defend our position well. Nail the line there, got to get on the throttle as soon as we can here. Obviously the Black Beamer now getting really close to us already. Pushing up again. Where is the advantage here? What can we gain even over to this? Can we get close to Sean Nelson, or is it going to be Tor Elder who's going to close the gap from us here? I mean, I think it's time to just try and push the lap times. At this point, don't even worry about the driver ahead of you. You just want to make sure you get out of there. He's now really close and he is slightly quicker, but however, that doesn't mean that he's knowing his way around us. At least we're consistent with it as well. He's looking for an opportunity, he's staring down their inside. Now he's going to try and go side by side perhaps. He's still actually behind us there. I thought for a second that was going to be the move on, but he's decided against it now. There's the dive, quite an aggressive one at that. We have to let him go, unfortunately. He is just quicker, so we also don't want to get involved into any incidents. So, shame really, however, still a good position to be in. And now I already see how quick he is to the driver ahead of us, and actually it looks like Sean's also going to try and let him by here. So they don't want anything to do with it. Maybe they realize as well, okay, he's a lot faster than I am. Maybe this is not worth my time. Which I gotta say, the driving standards in iRacing, even in these lower ranked lobbies, they have been really good so far. So I enjoy that, I have to be honest. We go at it again. 2 minutes left on the clock here. See, the drivers ahead of us will be able to put in another lap with ease, but then not another one before the time runs out. So pretty clear. See that we've got 2 laps left to go, and we are starting the next lap from this point on. Lap number 9 it is now here in the East Midlands, and it looks like we're still gaining up to Sean Nelson here, which is great news for us. Maybe we'll be able to get closer. Maybe we'll be able to open up the attack as well. see almost a push coming in. We're right up a still right now. It looks like if we keep continuing at this rate, we might be able to go side by side at some point here. Also looking to take out the sort of fastest lap in now. We're in the slipstream, albeit still a little bit further away than we want it to be. So no move or driver yet. Obviously, no time for heroics here either. We want to make sure we keep things clean. Once again, fastest laps coming out of the front as well. It's currently Henrik Fleur back in the lead again. So we're seeing many changes up the front. It's a close battle that we're seeing between the two. Quite large gap to the driver behind that as well already. We now know that we're in their second last lap, but we already knew that. So we are soon going to be crossing the line to try one more time. We're in P8 at the moment. Drivers behind are still rather far away. Apart from Lane Vindel.
Clear on the right.
Looks for a move but can't get it. Right up her tail. The rest of the drivers still so far away, however. There's a massive gap now between the drivers, and if we continue this lap cleanly, we're going to be able to at least finish up P8, which I guess is a decent result, especially if you consider the lobby that we're in. 1300 by average, so I think we're going to do rather well if we stay in this position. As the driver behind us doesn't get impatient now, we're making our way over nice and cleanly, but unfortunately we have had to cease the attack on the driver ahead of us here. That's Sean Nelson, of course, who hasn't been able to do it yet. Straight yet again. It looks like the BMW now is in the slipstream and is looking to just take open this attack here. Where is he going to go?
Still there, hold your line.
Need to brake, and oh, he's touched us, so we get spun around, unfortunately. Oh no, even the engine stalled, so we're stuck in the sand now. It's going to cost us a fair amount of time as well. We're now losing position elsewhere, and yeah, that's a shame. We're going to be in P10 from this point on. The last lap we got touched there. Oh, and he just didn't brake at all, or maybe he braked a little bit later than we did. But then again, it's up to the driver behind to really take that in, and oh well.
Slow car ahead.
Slow car ahead, but I don't think we're going to be overtaking anyone, so we're going to cross the line here in the end. Still a decent position coming through. I mean, it's going to be P10. And that still gives some good results for us here. So we're going to be finishing P10 in this Frankfurt field of 1353, which brings us to 5 incident points this race. That's including the touch, so I would say that's honestly pretty right. Maybe 1 or 2 off tracks and the incident. So I think it was a fairly uneventful race in that sense. It's just a shame to end it this way, right? We had the potential to get more in, but we couldn't. So well, it is what it is. For now though, we've got also a nice little safety rating upgrade, 2.77, so that's a plus 0.02. Not that significant, but every slight bit helps, I suppose. And our iRacing rating has actually gone up as well. That is now a iRacing rating of 648, so that's a plus 33 difference. I would say that's a pretty decent number for this race, and I think we can be pretty satisfied with how that one looked there in the end. I think it definitely could have been worse. And now it's time to head back into the pits here. Also, just your friendly reminder that if you're enjoying the content that we're putting out so far, make sure that you leave your feedback as well, because it would be very much appreciated. In the comments, we read all of them. It can be on his driving, it can be on my commentating, it would be very much appreciated. We always try to put our best out, and this time around I think we definitely were successful in that as well. So yeah, now it's time to park up the car in the pits yet again, then ending the race also. It's been a good one, I think. We can be happy. Now there's only one thing left for me to do, and that's to wish you guys a very pleasant rest of your day. And I will be sure we'll be back at some point. See you guys later.